Well, Jamie, welcome to the program, and great to catch up with you again. I know you've been around the traps. Tell us what the lay of the land is at the moment, dairy-wise.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And yeah, look, we're the dairy sector's in in pretty reasonable space at present. The farm milk price is ticking along particularly well and looking quite promising, and for the season. And I guess the farmers are busy with the normal springs that they get, and plenty happening out on farm, which is great to see.
Now, I know it's been pretty dry in South Canterbury and places like that. It's been quite good in Marlborough, and I suppose patches of good and bad all over the place. What's the general feeling?
Yeah, look, very mixed as you say, and typical spring. With Southland obviously being particularly wet, they've had some challenges there. We've just had the South Island managers together yesterday and Oamaru, and a mixed bag really. Southland have been wet. Canterbury, they're looking good. They're starting to get a bit of warmth now, and that irrigated country's really starting to move, and good to see a little bit of rain when I drove back from Oamaru to Christchurch this morning. Not huge amounts, but not bad. And had a few days had a day in Tasman the other day, and they had a lot of rain up there, and so they'll be setting themselves up hopefully for a good tail end of their spring. Yeah. And the North Island in parts, lower North Island's looking particularly well. There's feeder wash there, and up through the Waikato, etc. It's all looking pretty good, and I guess Northland they'll bank any rain they get between now and Christmas, that's for sure.
I know there's some big temperatures. I know, for example, today in Hawke's Bay, I think it's getting up to 26 degrees, which is fantastic. I mean, beautiful conditions for growth.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And then Hawke's Bay, we need them to for the North Island sort of cattle market, not so much so the dairy market, but very much the dairy beef. We need them to be in great shape because they really do. They're quite a strong market influence, so that's for sure.
Now you've got some big fairs coming up.
Yeah, we've probably about a third of the way through our North Island dairy beef weaner sales. And they're ticking along, probably as expected. In the first few sales, we're a little bit nervous about, but pricing was probably where we expected, back a bit on last year. But they have strengthened this week for sure with the feed conditions and around. They have strengthened, so that's good to see. And South Island are probably about 2 to 3 weeks away from kicking off with their sales, which the first one will be in Temuka in a few weeks, first week of December. So some good numbers to come forward. However, we do think that the dairy beef numbers are back on last year's numbers read, that's for sure.
And what sort of prices are you getting there, Jamie?
Yeah, I guess our Frisian weaner bulls in the North Island probably in the main seem to be sort of early to mid 400s with the Frisian bulls, which is probably back about $50 on last year, and the white-faced calves probably a similar sort of back, potentially around that 10% sort of mark. But the volume's back, so I guess we probably encourage people that do want good quality calves to make sure they're talking with us, and we can line up cars that suit, because the numbers will be back very much so on normal, that's for sure.
Is the fact that there's pretty much good grass growth over most of the place mean that there'll be a bit more demand for stock?
We'd like to think so. We're probably just seeing the North Island demand starting to come over the last sort of week to 10 days, really. So just starting to get going now. And I know Frankton had the dairy beef sale yesterday, and they had a nice positive lift in their market. So that was pleasing to see, that's for sure. And I guess the South Island guys are there, as I say, they're a couple of weeks away yet, but let's hope they've got a bit of feed around, and they come into play too, with hopefully, that's for sure.
We had the dairy auction on the middle of the week, of course. It was a wee bit of a drop, but generally speaking, it's been pretty consistent, and it's looking promising, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And as I said earlier on, the farm gate price, obviously Fonterra, lift their price indication, a couple of weeks ago, and which was pleasing to see. It's at sort of 680, which is good. Yes, a small drop in the GDT of about 2%, but but I think on the international trades looking pretty promising, and yeah, I think we're going to sort of be lining up for a pretty reasonable payout, which is good to see.